Hello and welcome to Mindful Woman in Tech, where you can find the life hacks how to get ahead in your life. All of us at some point, and me including, have thought that something is missing in their lives, and it can be relationships, recognitions, maybe job of your dreams. I want to share with you something really special, something that I have discovered in 2018. And it's something that I wish I knew earlier. And it's a powerful framework that's called be, do, have. If you're aware of be, do, have model and already practicing it consciously in your day-to-day life, please share with me the way you apply it. I would love to learn from you too. Once I found out about this model, I was eager to see where else or where is the origin of that model. I found out the resources as Tony Robbins or Stephen Covey. Both of them are mentioning that type of model in their teachings. However, I'm truly believing such as the origin of the model is coming way back before them. And for those who have not heard about that model, let me give you some essence of the be, do, have. The question we will start with is, who do I need to be? Keep that question in mind in a space where you want to advance your life, whether it's relationship, recognitions, or let's say job. I'll focus my attention on the last one, talking about solutions engineering. It is hard to define success without having destination point in mind. So you need to keep in mind where you're getting before starting your journey. And we already touched base on this topic earlier in some of our other videos. You can check it right there. The question you might want to ask yourself, not how do I need to do that jobs where you're getting, or what I need to do at all, but rather who you need to be to get to the role where you're heading. For example, let's say I want to be a solution engineer. It might be easy for me to talk now as I'm already doing that job, but I will back roll from the point where I started. So back in the day, 2018, remember, this is the point when I found out about that model. I allow myself envision and allow myself to have that role. Even though at that point I had no idea what day-to-day task or responsibilities of that job as being solution engineer, by allowing myself to envision at that point whatever I could allow myself to think of, let's say giving presentations, speaking freely, at that point when I was envisioning those parts or allowing myself to have or be that point, I might not be excellent at those tasks as presentation delivery or as great communicator, not all of those, but the fact that I was able to allow myself at some point to advance those skills allow me to step forward and progress towards that position. Despite what most people think, the best don't always finish first. So simply doing my best at the time was not likely to deliver the result I was looking for at that point. In other words, let's say if I would find out such as to be solution engineer, I need to be technical, I need to be aware of AWS resources, and let's say deliver excellent presentations. By just doing those tasks mindlessly without putting the bigger picture or explanations why I'm doing those, I'm sure that would not help me to get where I am today. The analogy could be considered as, let's say, you get 3,000 pieces puzzle, and those puzzles are really tiny and small. And all those puzzles, they have different fractions of images, yet at the end, you don't have a complete picture how those puzzles need to be aligned. And what's happening at the end of the day, you keep working on this, trying to find some patterns, analyze those pieces together, but without having that, image. And the image in our scenario, as we're talking about be, do, have, this is the image of imagination, of representation of yourself, who you planning to be, who you are envisioning to be right now, before you even get to the position where you're heading. Before you even start your research on a title or role as solutions engineer, let me ask you a question. What attracts you in that role? Or what's your story? Who told you? Or where have you explored that title at the beginning? And what inspired you to dig down and find more information how to get there? There must be something that triggers this aha moment or something, this kind of the feeling of tremendous excitement. Try to remember what was that trigger and contemplate on that, because that's something where your emotions responded to the information that you received. That might be the right direction to consider. I'm sure maybe the first time when you heard about solution engineering, you might not even know the definition of it. You might know, well, I kind of get the idea of sales, engineering, combination of that. Ask that question to yourself and ask yourself what really truly inspired you to consider and move forward with that. Once you discover what is that something that's specific to you, that was a trigger, then you can go and explore the variety of opportunities that are available to you. Today is through YouTube. Go search solution engineering, what is that, how to do, what is expected, connect with people in LinkedIn, type the message, say, hey, I was impressed by your background, would you be able to chat with me for like 5-10 minutes coffee chat? You'll be surprised how many people are willing to share their experience. Okay, so I hope you understood your homework, and let's come back to our original topic, be, do, have. And before I will give you the 3 approaches how to get ahead of life, where the only one works, I want to give you as a summary what we have just talked about. Before you wishing something to get, relationships, career, work, money, income, ask yourself, who do you need to become to get that? Again, maybe simplified example, relationships. Being a woman, you might imagine the best partner in your life for yourself, but you're yet still single. Well, when you're imagining the partner of your life, by the way, the same works in the opposite genders too. Ask yourself, once you have this clear image of your perfect best partner, who you need to become to attract that type of person in your life. So try to shift those perspective and think again who you need to be to get that. Lastly, if you want to have million in your life or to be million, billionaire, whoever it is, ask yourself what kind of person you need to be, or maybe what kind of responsibilities you need to handle, or maybe what kind of stress you need to tolerate. If you're ready for all of those, the light is green for you. Go and pursue that. And now, the last portion of the video. You might ask why this model is one of the most favorite ones. Because it's working, it's easy to apply, and you can see how the whole world is operating based on this model. If you're not sure yet how to see it, let me give you examples. As you already know, there are 3 common approaches trying to get ahead in your life, and only one of them actually works. So let's call them the victim, the worker, and the winner. You wonder what the difference between them? Let me tell you. The victim arranges their life in the order have, do, be. They say, when I have enough time, money, support, and some other excuses, then I will do the things I always wanted to. And then, only then, I will be happy and successful. The problem is I don't have yet. If I had what that person had, I would certainly be successful as them. But I don't do, and for that reason, I'm not. Have you heard of those stories? Well, the victim is always waiting for external to change before they can move ahead in life. Let's not to be the victims, and at least what we can do for ourselves is change our mentality of how we pursue the world around us. Let's consider the next two. The next category is worker. You might think, well, if I work really hard in my life, I should be ahead. Well, guess what? It's not necessarily true. The worker is all about do, have, be. They say the more I do, the more I will have. The more I will have, the happier I will be. The problem is the more I do, the more there is still to do, and the more I have to more there is still to have. I'm defined by what I do, so I become driven, busy, and tired. The more I have, the more there is to lose, so the harder I work, and that becomes a cycle. We all know that the link between having more things and being happier is a myth. So being happy never arrives. In the context of workers, one of my personal observations, those people, they find this happiness and self-acceptance only through the external tasks they're doing, either the way they appear in the family or the way they receive contribution and rewards at work. If they don't have any of those, they feel themselves as useless, not loved, and broken. So think for yourself and decide where are you today in the point of your life, and it's really up to you what decisions are you making. And now I want to talk about the third important category that we all want to be at. The winner orients their life quite differently, and they see that model as be, do, have. They say it's not what I do what is important, or what I necessarily have or don't have right now. But what is a more important question is who I need to be. What kind of person would have access to the kind of outcomes I desire or want right now? Then, being that kind of person, what would I be doing? And then the having takes care of itself. Remind yourself as simple as concept of being happy. It's not something you do some activity and then you have, let's say, your money and you pursue as having reached as being happy. A lot of times, and I'm sure you heard so many of those examples, anything what you do with a pursuit doesn't necessarily give you this feeling outcomes. So considering this model, I'm challenging yourself to ask yourself, how would you feel before starting acting on an actionable plan? And once you start pursuing those actions with your mindful approach, you'll have where you're getting to at the beginning. Let me know what you think about the topic and let me know when you're about to start practicing this model in your life. I want to see you soon. Bye.